So, well, ladies and Joes, now, as you can see, we have two amplifiers here. This, and really what we are reviewing, because you hear the little Blackstar ID Core 40 all the time. So what we're really reviewing is the Blackstar HT Club 40, which is certainly a pub playing amp. It is loud enough, I reckon, and it is a proper valve amp. But I mean, how does it compare to the diminutive ID Core 40? Well, I think that the best thing that we can do is have a listen to the two and see what deductions we can conclude from this little exercise. Let's go. Right, let's have a listen to, first of all, the Blackstar HT Club 40 on clean. We've got the one clean channel with two settings, which is volume and tone. So let's have a little listen. That's rather nice. I've had this for 2 years and I've not even plugged the damn thing in yet. It's a proper all valve amplifier. So there are two voice settings on this. So let's have a listen to the other voice. Much brighter. Let's try that first one again. So of course today's weapon of choice is a 335 Studio. This isn't the one that you've seen before, and I'll review this at the weekend. And so really that's that. Let's plug in the little ID Core 40 and have a listen to that one clean. And here is the little ID Core 40 on the clean setting. Okay. So once again, with the overdrive channel, you have two voice settings. Let's listen to those. Second voice. Am I in the right thing here? No. Let's try the little one. Now, of course, as previously, there are no different voice settings with this. You get what you get on the little ID Core 40, but let's listen. Let's have a look around them both. So, whilst, yes, well, looking at the ID Core 40 stereo amp first, this tiny little chap here, and whilst diminutive in stature, it sounds very, very, very grown up, and they're probably my favourite amp of all time, if I'm perfectly honest. And what you do have because of course this will not fill a pub, but you do have an emulated line out which doubles up as a headphone socket, so you can run it through a mixer or a PA or something bigger. I mean, of course you can always bung a mic in front of it if you want to. So yes, you've got these settings here from polite to brutal, and we've got a gain and volume, which obviously changes the sound that you're using for any of these different features. Here, very, very, very easy to use, and you have this EQ, which is called the ISF, the Infinite Shape Feature, which is basically a fancy tone knob. And it is, and whilst I'm dumbing it down there, make no mistake, it is brilliant, and it does give you everything from, you know, metally sort of stuff right through to clean Brit pop that's all nice and bright and spanky. We've got reverb, delay, and this modulation thing, which quite frankly I'm not exactly sure what that does. I think it makes it like a bit of a tremolo effect. And then of course you can change the effect shape or voice, if you will, and then with the level knob here you can dial in as much of that feature that you wish. Overall, these, generally speaking, you'll pick one of these up on either Reverb or the Bay for the sub 100 quid mark. Very, very usefully. They've got a little USB socket here, which you can either use to plug your laptop in and play backing tracks to, so that you can play along with those, and you can also do something with a computer and download different patches and what have you. Not my kind of thing, really. Bottom line is, with this, they're small, they're cheap, and they're absolutely astonishing quality. So you get a little power supply with these. You can use a pedal with them, and that will switch you either between clean and overdrive, or I think it will also turn your reverb on and off. These are made in China, but you know, they're just fine. There's just absolutely nothing wrong with them, and if I was to be quite frank with you, if I was going to go and do a gig tomorrow night, I'd be taking this, and I would be taking a line out from here and sticking it in the mixer, or bunging a mic in front of it, because I love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Let's have a look at the big fella. Okay, so you will note that on the front of this, the overall look and the control layout is well, not simpler, but familiar. Certainly, you can see that that family link between those two. So you've got one input. That's all you need. You're not playing with anybody else through the same piece of equipment. And what you do have is a clean channel and an overdrive channel, which is very, very easily switchable. And of course, when you do press the little button, it will light up a red light that tells you that you are on, in fact, the overdrive channel. So this also has the infinite shape feature right here, and of course all of your controls are on the front, which is probably more practical if you're playing live, because you can see exactly what you're doing here. So on the clean channel, we've got volume and we've got tone, and you've got this voice switch. When you turn from, sorry, the voice switch for the clean channel here is in the center between the volume and tone knobs. If you press the overdrive select, this little light will come on and let you know that you're doing that. And again, there is a voice channel. It just switches you from one tone setting to another, basically. So you've got an EQ here. You've got bass, middle and treble. As you can see, these are all flat out. And you do have the ISF, the infinite shape feature. There is a reverb, not a delay, and a master volume. you've got the master power switch here and the standby switch, which prevents, when you use the standby switch, basically what it does is it prevents the speaker going when you turn it on and off. I've got to say, steel chassis, very, very robust, lovely big chunky handle, although it's starting to fray a little bit here. And they're well built, rugged, robust and handsome. So, around the back, what you do have is an effects loop, a return and send effects loop. I do not like, I do not use effects, so that's a useful feature. And this level meter will take you between +4 and -10 dB. There is a foot switch socket here. So you can use and the foot switch socket is a transferable one, not the socket itself, but the foot switch is transferable between certainly the little ID Core 40 and this one. They both do exactly, they perform the same functions. You've got an emulator, proper 1/4" jack emulated output here. So again, you can run it through your mixer or whatever other external thing that you want to, and you've got speaker output, so you can plug them into maybe a 4x12 cab or something else. We also have a reverb switch on the back. I thought that should be on the front, to be fair, but anyway, dark and light. So these are made in Korea. And if you're not fussy about where stuff was made, which I'm certainly not, because these are just really, really brilliantly built, and they are a true all-valve amplifier, valve preamp and valve power amp. And that is pretty much it from me and the brace of Blackstars for tonight. So, thanks all ever so much for tuning in and having a bit of a Blackstarness, and I shall see you at the weekend with the Gibson, with the Gibson ES335 Studio in Gingerburst. My word, what a lovely guitar. Adios amigos. Ta-ra.